As a practicing fighter pilot, I have long avoided commercial computer air combat simulations, largely because of their lack of realism. Thrustmaster has eliminated much of the unnatural keyboard drill, replacing it with hot-ass compatibility that simulates playing the piccolos in a modern fighter. I'm sold! Check 6! And welcome to Tinker Tailor's Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Live Video Entertainment Network. I'm Ian Horner, not Robert Shaw, who was author of the Fighter Combat of the Naval Institute Press. And joining me today is Alex Stacey.
Hi.
And here, we do things here on the show.
We sure do.
Sometimes they're successful. Sometimes
not so much.
No, sometimes it does take more time.
So what do you have today?
Well, today I'm pulling out a very old project from back in the annals of TTSF. We're finally going to, hopefully, over the period of time, convert this from the Apple desktop bus protocol to USB
For the modern era.
Yes, for the modron era.
As the McElroys say, right?
Yes, yes. Those darn McElboys. What do you got there?
I'm going to sharpen some stuff, but I have a special treat.
Okay.
As you know, I'm very fond of show and tell, so
Ah,
I have something that
it's
I'm
never good when I
I've
see
been
your
very
hands
excited.
show up and they're just clad in latex. Or nitrile, I guess.
It doesn't say biohazard, it only says radioactive.
Yep. I don't
It's
have,
fine, it's
no,
safe.
I don't have a Geiger counter with me, but I am going to make sure that, okay, I'm not seeing any sparkles on the camera, so it's not emitting anything yet.
So this is a pig.
Yes.
So you know what a pig is?
No, I don't.
Okay, you know, this is called a pig, and it is this one is actually made out of actual lead.
Okay. Good. What's inside it right now?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Ian, because
We were safe once.
inside of it, I have a couple of very dangerous things. This is Burger King tweeting about No Nut November.
Go on.
Yes.
Oh, this is. These are hard to get a hold of. It's very scary. This is a picture of the 3D CG Sonic the Hedgehog. Only it's got Jar Jar Binks' face shooped onto it.
Oh,
Try to not look at that directly.
not good, but not terrible.
Yeah, not terrible. And there's one more in here. This one might be topical, if I can fish it out. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is a 4chan post of somebody claiming to be a biologist, saying that Belle Delphine's bathwater doesn't contain DNA and she's liable for a class action lawsuit.
3.6 million retweets. Alex, I do want to point out, though, that you won't find any DNA in the bathwater.
I know.
Because there is no DNA in the
Because
bathwater.
it hasn't been sent out yet, so that's been disproven. So, this was for a goof, but I did actually make a pig.
I mean, that's rad.
So yeah, try lifting that.
Oh, that is significant.
Yeah, that's like an inch. Well, not quite an inch, but I had a bunch of lead that I got from wheel weights, and I have aspirations to one day own some trinitite, maybe some uranium ore, the kind of stuff like the things that civilians can get a hold of and not get in trouble.
The thing you just want it on your desk.
Like, this is super insane overkill for anything I could possibly be allowed to own, but it's really cool.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. That is very.
Yeah, so this is an old propane cylinder. Well, actually a MAP gas cylinder. So that was cut open and emptied. This is actually a useful thing for if you're thinking of building anything out of anything that used to contain flammable gases. You have to flood it first. You empty all the gas,
Yep.
and then you fill it completely with water. Like, it has to be overflowing. Like, so that drives out the last little bits of vapor. Then you can start cutting into it.
Interesting.
So that's how you do it without blowing yourself up. Because if you're just like, oh yeah, this is empty, and I'll just take an angle grinder to it.
I have a question. Whose water do you fill it with?
The makers.
Yeah.
Because we're all makers here, right?
And I cast the lead in place because you can just like melt it on a stove, but I had a big fan going, respirator, everything, and I had a chunk of aluminum stock just rested down here. I poured the bottom, then put the aluminum on top, then filled it,
Okay.
and then spent like an exhausting afternoon trying to work the form out because it didn't come easily.
So I was going to say, the easy way to do that would have been to just cast a cylinder of lead and then take it to the lathe. And take out the inside nice and smooth, and then take out the outside nice and smooth.
Now, technically you can turn lead on a lathe, but everything that I looked up said it was a giant pain in the ass.
Oh.
Because you need, first of all, holding it squarely in the chuck because it's so malleable, like it's going to eat into the material.
So you're going to want a lot of wastage on the backside.
You can't run it too fast because heat is your enemy. And you need like really serious chip breaking bits because it's like so soft and like is going to gum up all your tools. So
no, is the answer.
But anyways, yeah, I poured the lid is made out of the top section. Like I took a little cross section out and then folded out a panel and then welded those together to make a lid, and then I filled that up to here, and then I made a form out of wood and filled up what would you call that? The nub?
Yeah.
The plug.
The counter
it just
sink?
fits in there. There's no mechanism to hold it in place. It's just really heavy. Just like the RBMK reactor lid. Which was held in place by gravity.
It's impossible to explode. Impossible.
Anyway, so here, I'm going to put these highly hazardous tweets and shit posts and things away, and then
leave these on the shelves here and let people notice them as things.
I also had to repaint it, and the paint is really shitty, but that's kind of helping with the aesthetic.
Oh, may I?
Yeah.
Just put it on display for the rest of the show.
I'm guessing it's lead-based.
Oh,
paint.
I wouldn't put it up there. I wouldn't balance it on anything, man. If that falls, it's going to total everything.
10 minutes later, just careens
Like, I can't-
all the drawers.
He's not selling that at all. This thing's really... Do we have a scale?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, yes, we do. Postal scale.
Oh, I would love to know. I have no idea how much this weighs.
Ooh. Yeah, because we could probably count.
Place your bets.
Oh, if I were a calculating man, I would, but I'm not. So I mean, I am, but I don't have pens and papers handy. So. How much scale? 0 kilograms.
Wow, it doesn't weigh anything.
I think we need to do something. Aha.
Okay.
Hang on, let me get a shot of the... Okay, go ahead. I moved a lot. What's it say on the wide?
5 kilos.
5 kilos. All right. Not
Is
too
it
bad.
a nice round 5?
Oh, good. Everyone was betting in chat.
It looks almost like, yeah, it's pretty close to
Yeah.
it.
I hope you guys were putting in bets per pound.
It's just like the tiniest hair over 5 kilos.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is in pounds, but cool.
So, anyway, let's just leave that on the floor.
Can you lock that back up, Ian?
Yes, I can. Yes. That's satisfying.
Clang.
Clink,
All right,
clank.
what did I bring? I brought all sorts of goodies,
Right.
like not very much water. That's fine.
Okay, but there is more water.
Yeah, there's more water over here.
Ah, yes, the
Very important.
the water cow.
I brought my Lansky sharpening jig.
Did you, may I ask, purchase this because of the Japanese man?
No. Robin purchased it because of the Japanese man.
Ah, okay.
Which Japanese man?
The knife making Japanese
Knife guy.
man.
Okay.
Obviously.
That knife san.
Sharpening stone. I just brought a bunch of sharpening stuff because I don't actually know exactly what we're gonna get into. This is a piece of leather
Oh, for stropping.
for stropping. It's got a little bit of compound left on it. I forgot to bring some. Few more sharpening things, then I'll show you what I'm going to attempt to sharpen today. So we have some emery paper. We have coarse. We have medium, and we have fine.
So we're looking at 50
Something and something.
something. It's 50 medium and fine.
And sheet of glass
Vital.
for flattening stuff. A piece of cork to put things
Glass on.
That's where that goes. Okay, so to sharpen, and hopefully I don't run out of these too quickly, some chisels.
Oh,
These are actually the sights chisels, and I figured that I would sharpen them and get them into workable shape so that I can use them.
Yeah, they're right out of the. They're factory fresh, but that doesn't mean that they can't use a good sharpening.
So this is a tool that I made a long time ago, and that I attempted to make another one of on Tinker Tailor. This is my Cutie Dashi, which could use a little bit of tuning up.
Very useful for marking.
This is a chisel I made.
You made it.
Yeah, I just made a chisel.
That's rad.
So that one's already pretty sharp, but, you know, we'll see how much sharper we can get it.
Thank you.
And this, I don't know if I'm going to have enough courage to try this, but it's a let's try.
Oh.
This is a gift from a long time ago from some dear friends in Japan. It's a chef's knife.
Yeah?
It's not like, before you forget, it's not like,
No.
it's not like some sort of like family heirloom or
But was
something.
it? Was
but
it
like,
I mean, clearly it was made.
yeah,
by
but it is like, it is a carbon steel knife. I already removed all the rust from it. You can see there's some pretty substantial pitting on the handle.
But that's actually kind of that'll actually be kind of useful for you when you actually end up putting it back in wood.
Yeah, so I think I tried sharpening it and I made it duller.
But there's a lot. There is a lot of
So,
metal to work with there.
yeah, I can probably afford to fuck this up a little bit more, and it is a single bevel, so.
Single bevel, single side.
Oh, and my water stone that came with this, which is soaking right now.
Important to do so.
Anywho,
I'll
so
pull out
let's-
the joystick here. He's purchased way back in the. This might have actually been my first thing I ever bought on eBay.
Really?
Yeah. So 96 or so.
Holy schmoly.
Oh my god, is eBay that old?
Oh yeah, eBay's ancient. Maybe 98. Good God.
God, I feel old from that.
I mean, let's see here. It requires System 7.
Wow.
Is that at all related to Mode 7? Like,
No. Though it, I don't even know if it predates Mode 7. I think it's a peer of Mode 7. But yeah, this was
This is
the
definitely too
shit
coarse.
back in the day.
is that the joystick that is in the intro to Video and Arcade Top 10?
It might be. I've actually never seen Video and Arcade Top 10. Being a child of the non-cable era.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Is that a Tommy Tellerico joint?
No,
Maybe?
that was Electric
Okay.
Playground.
Okay.
Yeah.
That show ran till like 2005, I think.
Wow.
Like it ran later than you think it would have.
All right. So I'm going to start by cracking this open, and God willing, I remembered to bring my notes that I took the last time I did things on this. As if I didn't, boy oh boy, is this going to suck.
So, the last time you worked on this, was it in the previous office?
It was in the it was 2 offices ago, I believe.
Wow.
It's gonna be like, was OS 10 a thing? Oh my god.
Drivers.
Good for you. Didn't throw those out.
Nope.
Whoa! 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 Somebody printed out the save button.
Thrustmaster Thrustware version 5.0. I should take a trip down to Nimbus Avenue on Portland, Oregon sometime. See if the Thrustmaster still exists.
Maybe not the type that you remember.
Wow!
Okay, I gotta go through some of these wonderful other things, new products that they had available at that time.
Please do.
So you had the Play Pro home golf course, which was, or if we can get this other side probably has it.
Good.
Yeah, so yeah, the Play Pro golf course, the Wizard pinball controller here, which just appears to attach to the side of your keyboard and gives you 2 buttons.
2 whole buttons.
Oh man, the F16 sticks. Those were real good. And some early wheels. What is that? ACM game card. For today's high-speed computers, the ACM game card is the pinnacle of performance and quality, featuring quad ports, 2 dual-port game controllers on 1 card, and a dial that allows you to adjust the game speed to match your computer. The ACM
What does
game
that
card
even mean?
is compatible with AT Systems 286 to Pentium.
There were several video games that ran their processes on the speed of, I guess, the CPU or something.
Holy
It
moly.
was a common method of programming, actually.
Yeah. So they are unplayable unless you throttle that in a sandbox thing nowadays.
And that was the purposes of the turbo button back
Yeah,
in
I
the day.
always wondered what the hell that was. I was like, why is there a button that makes your computer go fast, and why would you ever not push it?
Yeah.
Turns out because your games become unplayable.
Yeah.
Right, so maybe I left the information in the other...
Hey, Beej, could we get a quick angle on what I'm doing here?
Yes. Let's see here. Ooh, probably have to do it through the roaming camera. In fact.
Here we go.
Sorry, I was knee deep in lore of Nicholas Pickles.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Nicholas Pickle.
He's the guy who hosted Video and Arcade Top 10.
Yeah.
After the first year.
I can get you on this side if you move the moo cow and the empty water bottle. Thanks.
Sweet. All right, there we go.
Okay, so I've drawn a hatch pattern using Sharpie on the back of this, because what I'm trying to do is flatten the back of these chisels before I get into sharpening them. And so I can tell how much I've gotten through by how many of the hatches have been removed. So there's like a little area here left, so I keep going until they're all gone. And then we can be sure that it's pretty flat. And the reason I have this sheet of glass is pretty flat. Not like I'm a machinist flat, but flat enough.
Would you say that if you wanted to splurge for it, getting a proven flat piece of granite would be a good idea? Just because it's more durable than
I've
glass?
been thinking about getting those. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, it's a block of granite whose sole purpose in life is to be really flat.
Like a plinth?
I don't remember what they're called.
Nor do I.
A slab.
I know I've considered getting...
A surface plate, that's the one.
I've considered getting a few, or a sheet of glass specifically for the 3D printer as a print surface.
What about a Teflon surface?
See, the problem is you need to be able to have the prints need to adhere to the plate.
Oh, right.
You want the flatness of glass for 3D printing because that's what that keeps things level.
But then you also want it to be able to release at some point.
Yeah.
Granite blocks aren't that expensive. You paid $40. Ah, but how much was shipping?
Yeah, because they're notoriously heavy.
I was just like, oh yeah, this isn't so cheap. Shipping $4,000.
The nice thing is granite is fairly common worldwide.
Yeah. I mean, even like a chunk of granite countertop might be okay enough.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only thing that you really need a surface plate for is if you're doing like precision machining.
Oh, people are asking, what were they saying here?
Why am
Wow,
I making a shiv out of a chisel? I don't think I understand that question.
Because most of the work's already been done for you?
Flattening the back.
Someone was asking which Mark version of this joystick it was. They were suggesting had to be Mark III because it was the Mark ones didn't include the throttle. To that I say, Mark I.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Weapon control system, Mark 1.
You got the FCS and the WCS.
But I mean, the more you work on it, the more marks it'll gain.
Ooh.
God damn.
Ooh.
My cow's empty.
Oh no.
Well,
Also,
fill it up.
Phil Cow.
Somebody was asking if I could explain the cow for everybody. No. I can't.
Yeah, there's. It's just a real good.
I'd love to, but it's not possible. If
It's
somebody wants
happy.
to link the channel, you're welcome to draw your own conclusions from whatever the hell you see on Knife Guy.
He's a really nice guy. I've never watched the channel, so that's the one joke I can make about it.
Is it?
I mean,
God damn it.
you can.
Just
Should you?
Yeah.
All right. So if I recall, last time I was inside here, we just mapped we mapped all the controls coming in, and boy, that was a good time. And now I didn't bring my mapping. So what we're going to do here is we'll have to find a way of
Yeah.
making it work.
Beach, we will need a tiny cucumber later.
Okay. I understand.
I'm only half joking. Ah, see? So you can track how you're going with the material removal, because like the reason it's a hatch pattern is just so it's highly visible, and you can sort of follow exactly where it's going. So all the areas that are not marked were high spots that have been ground off, and we're just trying to get all the way down to level.
Oh, I feel really bad about what I might be about to do to this joystick.
What are you
Adding a
gonna
mark
do?
to it.
Well, no, because I mean these are just looking at these at this layout here. It's beautiful.
Oh, oh man, that's artistic.
Yeah, this is when people took pride in
Is
their.
that how they used to make electronics?
At least the Thrustmaster Corporation did.
You're gonna fuck that up.
Yeah, I'm really not excited to do that.
So, project done?
No, not quite. We're going to need to get at least some work done in this today. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start by desoldering a few of these connections here.
One other thing about what I'm doing here, I'm going in circles to maintain flatness, because if you go back and forth, I think you can wear down unevenly where you're applying pressure. Getting there. I'm going to turn this and expose some fresh grit.
Fresh grit. Is the grit true?
True grit.
I guess nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Ever forward.
And what's the worst I could do to this?
Yeah. God, I hope I don't give myself an RSI today.
That would, yeah.
Yeah, my wrist was a little sore earlier today, and I was like, uh-oh. And I have no idea what I did to it, because, like, I wasn't doing anything repetitive when I was making the pig. I wasn't yanking it too hard.
Not cranking the pig, cranking the hog.
He just said no, Ian. Like, are you going to make him repeat himself?
Oh, yes. Right. So last piece of the equation here. What we were planning to do today was, final piece of the equation is this. It's a 18 mega 32U4, which I can use to turn analog and digital signals into USB joystick signals.
Ooh.
It's fancy. We got those from, not a sponsor of the show, but I do love the name of their shop, Universal Solder.
Wow.
That is good, yeah.
Okay, that's cute.
I only mention it because it's the second time they've supplied, or I've bought something from them unknowingly.
So, what was the name of that piece of technology?
This is an 80 mega 32U4
So, is it
microcontroller.
Is its code name Euphoria?
Whew.
Is it?
No.
No.
No, it's an Arduino clone, Arduino Pro Micro clone. And yeah, we're going to have some fun with
Have
this.
us some fun.
Gonna have some fun tonight.
I would like to mention, if you haven't seen it already, another project which I may or may not bring some amount of onto the stream, because it may be so involved that I do it at home and broadcast that. So my dad is also a fan of Chernobyl lore, and he has a model project that he wanted me to help him with. And so he got the trumpeter kit of the, oh God, what is it, like TT5 or something? It's the Prime Mover. It's a tracked truck,
Oh,
and there's an aftermarket kit that adds the bulldozer blade.
for clearing.
So gonna put that together.
Do you know if anyone makes a Joker model kit?
Oh, I doubt. I wouldn't think so. That might be a scratch build. Also, I'm gonna have to try and twist his arm to like maybe help spring for the white metal track links.
Ooh.
Cause fuck doing that with the styrene ones. I did that for my my previous tank. You remember the
Oh, styrene treads would be.
Oh, they suck. They're just the worst. Because they have no weight, and you have to partially glue them and then hang them and then re-glue them, and you don't have enough links, and they don't... It's a nightmare.
Terrible. You know, I think I might have hecked up a bit here today, but I think we can get through. I forgot to bring a desoldering braid along with my notes. So we're just going to play it by ear, and by play it by ear, I think so to lay out what we're going to do today, we're going to solder the pins onto this little device. I'm only going to desolder the stick portions for the moment, because that's going to be the first bit to deal up. And we're going to need to actually write some code here too, I think, today. But we'll desolder the links to the pots for the stick, and we'll see if we can get the stick up into a test market.
POTS is short for potentiometer, isn't it?
Correct. Cool. And we'll bring out the official Tinker Tailor Solder Fry work mat.
Oh, I wish I had one of those.
I mean, you can have this one if you'd like.
Well, I'm gonna get it wet. I don't know if that matters.
I pulled it down off the wall.
Alex, do you want a sheet of rubber to go underneath?
I would
that?
love a sheet of rubber. Like, I have some cork. This is actually like kind of fine. I might put down some plastic.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm currently, I've upgraded the firmware on my soldering iron.
Sorry, what?
I upgraded the firmware on my soldering iron. So I need to set the wattage, which I believe is...
I'll say you have to set the wattage. As in, what in the hell are you talking about?
Interface. Tip is currently 27 degrees Celsius. We're at... oh, wow, I should update this again. It's currently version 2.06, released January 30th. So
Well, that's just the wrong version, Ian.
So that's a 24-watt power supply.
I guess not. Okay, sorry.
Okay, it looks like it's an 18-watt power supply, actually. 'Cause it's not putting out 24 watts.
Oh, hey, okay, so speaking of ever forward, never learning, I want to tell you a powerful electronics story. So
Does
I wanted...
it have a happy ending?
No. So I wanted to do some electrochemical etching, like saline etching, which is you pass a current through a workpiece and you blot it with an electrode that's soaked in a saline solution, and it will etch onto steel. And so I was like, oh man, I could make one of these. I'll just get a PSU, like a transformer from like some bullshit consumer electronic, hook the terminals up, you know, clamp one to
That
the
should
thing.
be fine, right?
Yeah. And so I did. And I
How'd that work
got
out?
some saline, and I got a mask, and I like rubbed it, and it worked a treat.
Great.
It just like, you know, ate into it, nice, pretty clean etch, and I was like, that's super cool. And I was like, I wonder what happens if I touch the terminals together. just so I know what to expect. If it happens by accident. There was a small spark, and then it stopped working.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, that's weird. Why does it stop working? It's like, it's a transformer. It should just go.
Yeah, until Optimus says stop.
And I just like, I couldn't figure it out. Like, I was like, what's the problem? And so I eventually had to crack it open. I mean, literally crack it open, because like an idiot, I didn't check under the rubber shoes, where they always hide screws. So just, there was a fuse inside.
Well, that's lucky.
A burnt fuse.
Good.
So yeah, I felt real stupid.
Well, you can just switch fuses out, right?
I don't know. Maybe. I'll have to see what kind of fuse it is.
That might actually, this is something you might be interested in as well, Alex.
Yeah.
That I'm considering doing an episode of TTSF where where I turn a standard PC power supply into a bench power supply for
Ooh.
projects.
I bet you a bench power supply would work for etching as well.
Like, what sort of voltage do you need? Do you need 5, 12, or 24?
I think it might be a little under 24. It's kind of like how quickly and aggressively do you want it to work. I think the sweet spot might be around like 14 to 18 volts.
God, this is just so clean. I hate what I'm doing to it. But it's necessary. Necessary to enter the future. Okay, let's get some pins in this person here. Yeah, because I'm going to use some pins to prototype.
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 Hi, prototype.
Good. Some analogs are a. You know, I'm only going to wire up the pins on that side today, I think. But I'll use them both here. Oof. You know what? I'm going to solder that. Where am I going to solder that? How am I going to do this? What am I doing? Where are my pants? Etc. Etc.
On your legs. Ian, if you wore pants, would it be like this or like this?
Oh, definitely like that.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
There we go. We'll get out the old hand.
A handy
We'll do this Okuyasu style.
What?
It's a JoJo thing.
Everything's a fucking JoJo thing.
I had to hold my tongue at the episode in the last episode of what was it? Burning Bright.
After the flood.
But yeah, yes. Poor Cam, not familiar with the JoJos.
It's like, is that a JoJo reference?
Ghost stands aren't ghosts.
I like that the reason stands are called stands is because they stand next to you.
Yep.
Is that literally the reason?
Yep. Doesn't need to be any more than that.
You know there's one called King Crimson, right?
Oh yes. He's very relevant right now.
I bet. Is he fucking up time?
Somehow.
I thought that was a Waldo.
That's a different stand. That's
a different time fuck up stand.
Multiple stands have the ability to control time.
Oh, good. Now this might be a little small, but okay, there's just barely enough space.
There we go. Did I also forget to bring my flux? I think I did.
You just want to go home and get everything you look for.
No!
Like,
No, I think I can do this without
alright,
flux.
fine, alright. Jesus.
What I should have done was order the proper needle tip pin for the soldering iron, but that's not going to happen. Can't go home to get that. Hey Siri, remind me to order a soldering iron tip.
God, I hope I'm not fucking this up.
Okay, I will remind you to.
I'll say solder to her so she'll understand. I don't have British Siri on.
And you say iron because that's the type of person you are.
British Siri.
Magnesium, aluminium and magnesium.
Magneto. Cerebro. Man, how do we all like that Picard poster?
What, the Dodge?
Yeah.
What is it gonna be?
Patrick Stewart on TV again.
I guess it's like, who gives a fuck what it is? It's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, be Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard.
It's just 2 hours of him playing the piccolo.
Everyone loves Patty Stew.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS.
Yeah, I would love to see him as Picard. Just recite for you this wonderful hit from the 20th century.
Despacito?
Because I'm hip to the culture, for months I thought Despacito was pronounced Dispatchio.
Kind of soup that's served cold, right?
Yeah.
For the longest time when we were kids, my brother thought cleric was pronounced celeric.
Celeric.
Ah, yes.
Now, and I thought grotesque was pronounced gross out.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those are both cogent.
That is a meme that's been going around recently, right?
What is?
The what's a word that you learned how to pronounce? Did you first learn by reading and then?
Paradigm.
Paradigm, yeah.
Damn.
Well,
Oh,
Corey,
good. I have time now while you're not grinding.
yeah, Corey fixed me with one word, quixotic.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Like on stream, like, oh yeah, this is very quixotic. No, Matt, you are wrong.
Yeah. I still say it that way for fun.
Yeah.
Like the X, we should never ever pass up the opportunity to pronounce an X. So rare in there.
Just gonna give it to you. What?
Actually, that was another fun thing that made the rounds recently was examples of what X was in children's books, alphabet books, before X-rays or xylophones became popular or even invented or discovered. Invented for the xylophone, discovered for the X-ray.
How old is the xylophone?
I don't know.
It's not as old as you think it is.
And on top of that, yeah, you just turn.
London, I can hear you!
I'm DJ Tiesto, you people mean nothing to me! That was, God, I feel like that was a bit that we used to amuse ourselves with when I used to work in show tech. It just, oh, God damn it, this piece of tape is probably throwing me off. You're just sort of like, you know, the really big high-end DJs that, you know, they could probably do anything they want and have the people who are peaking on ecstasy just like do anything you want. It's just like, send me your pin numbers.
Who's ready for Magenta to visit?
Everybody, punch your boyfriend.
Trade underwear with the person next to you.
Never mind how.
Oh no, wait, that literally was a Key and Peele sketch.
Was it?
Yeah. It was a club song banger like that they started with like, now clap your hands, clap your hands. Now take off your shirt, take it off.
Peel your skin,
Yes.
peel off your skin.
Things
peel
like
off your
that.
skin.
It got real weird. Like Adam grade.
This one might take like way too long. It's like, maybe I'll come back to that.
Thankfully, my soldering adventure is over for the moment.
But it just started.
I know it's a short journey,
Oh.
short ride. We're at the fireworks factory. Get out.
I've been watching safety investigation videos again,
Uh-oh.
which are always,
Oh, hey.
dare I use the word entertaining?
You do.
Okay, they're really something.
What are they, Alex?
So,
Other than entertaining?
well, it's like 3D CG recreations of disasters that, mostly industrial disasters that this company, I can't remember the name of it. Their thing is that like they investigate industrial disasters to see like if there was negligence, you know, what could have gone wrong, how it happened, how to have it fixed. And they're narrated by this guy with like this older gentleman with like a really like sincere, worried voice.
Oh no.
It's just like the factory had organic peroxides stacked up outside, but then they lost power and were not able to keep the peroxides cool.
Oh no, that's a
It's
bad
just
thing.
shit like that. They're just kind of entertaining and also pretty informative.
Yeah, if you want to learn about peroxides.
Based on your description, I thought they were going to be a lot like that that weird series of 3D CG videos where it's like, look, we drive up 4 shipping containers, then we open them up, and inside are giant helicopter blades, and then we...
Oh, fuck! I remembered that existed and watched it again, and my jaw was on the floor. Because it was like the ultimate weapon as designed by, like, a 10-year-old scribbling in his, like, social studies margin.
Yeah.
The best part is that all it does is it's a huge quadcopter that goes up,
Yep.
stays there,
Yep.
and shoots
Yep.
its Gatling gun at a distance, and all the B-52 bombers sitting on the tarmac out
just
on
like-
fucking parade,
Yep.
helpless.
They're like, what?
Absolutely
What's
helpless.
happening?
The best part is the motorbike they get on to drive away.
Yes.
Like their escape vehicle.
Yes, I remember
is
that
a fucking motorbike.
Oh my god.
Somebody's got to find this video and like put it on. It's just
It's Dahir Insat is the name of the YouTube channel.
And I was just
Wow.
like, is this guy for real, or is he like trying to sell this to, like, I don't know, a military-industrial complex?
There's
It's like a plaza, right?
I saw some recently that show like here's how you can use this like ready-made concrete forms to construct multiple apartment buildings essentially in whatever configuration that you like.
Oh, neat.
And it was like this is a really neat idea because it's like just a bunch of Lego bricks essentially going together, things sliding into place with like areas for conduit and stuff, so you can run electricity and water and everything later.
Get some 3-inch beams and 4-inch struts, and you run conduit. Run conduit. Get some beams and struts and beams.
Have any of you in the room or possibly out there, I guess, seen any of the videos or information on the 3D printed houses that are being prototyped currently?
Oh yeah.
Where the 3D printer is essentially it's a rope-based printer, which carries a concrete nozzle.
Like a bucket?
Oh,
Oh, nozzle.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And you just
really
pump-
cool.
You're literally just pumping concrete into, and it's just a big 3D printer with a resolution of, I guess, half a foot.
But I mean, surely, like we have that. You build a form and then you pour concrete into it.
Yeah, but then you have to build a form first.
this
you just
is formless.
yeah, you just lay it down.
Also, I don't think you can build the entire form. Can you imagine if they built an entire like skyscraper's form and then poured all the concrete at once?
That would work.
They just get this like cement mixer the size of a Zeppelin. It's like, okay, hurry, gotta go.
So we filled the Zeppelin with concrete, sir. How big it
It's
floats?
just like he hit traffic. The whole project's fucked, and we're fucked because we have this like Zeppelin-sized brick. I believe cement mixer driver must be quite a stressful job.
Oh yeah.
Because maybe this is obvious to you, but there's a time limit on your delivery schedule, whether you want it to be or not. And if you don't make that time limit, well, your vehicle's broke.
Yeah, you basically have a giant rock in a drum.
it is
Yeah.
no longer a useful vehicle for what it was meant for.
That does make me wonder why they don't just mix it on site with the truck. Like, bring all the raw materials there.
The dry goods, and then
I think it would be too much of a pain in the ass. Like,
And losing a truck that's very expensive is not.
well, I guess that they're just able to have more control over, the mixture.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you if you talk to somebody who worked in construction,
They have reasons, I'm sure.
yes.
Yeah. But I have an idea, Alex.
I bet you do. Oh, do you have an idea about how PAX can fix their badge sales?
is that the hot topic?
No, it's just always been the hot
Someone's
topic.
got a problem,
And
yeah.
people tell them all sorts of stuff, and they're like, "You people are completely stupid. We've tried that. It doesn't work that way."
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea a lot of
It's like,
times.
yeah, except that it doesn't work for reasons that you can't necessarily even be aware of because you're like a couch jockey
Yeah.
and not a business person in charge of, this huge company.
It's weird because it is definitely a thing where you're like, but surely this would happen
No.
if they could just do this, and it's like, well, no, that because what you're doing is you're ignoring bad actors, and bad actors are always going to like overthrow whatever system you come up with.
I sometimes sit down and think how different the world would be if we didn't have to have provisions for people being shitty.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of problems would just be solved.
locks on doors,
Yeah.
door locks, security systems, bars,
Yeah, what's it?
police officers, the entire...
The police could go back to what they were meant for:
What was that?
investigating crime.
Yeah.
But would there be crime to investigate if people weren't shitty?
Well, see, that's.
I mean, you're going to still have disagreements about things, I guess, where it's like,
Sure.
I thought we had an agreement to do X, and it's like, oh yeah, I guess. Well, no, not really. We agreed to do Y, and it's like, oh, now we
It's
have
like,
to
oh,
arbitrate.
okay, and then you'd like take the tire and just like insert it in their chest.
Here's the thing: laws aren't always
Just?
or correct.
I am pretty sure that the law saying you can't put a tire iron into somebody's chest is probably just.
That's a good law, yes.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, but there are still going to be laws that say you can't do a thing.
Yeah.
Copyright's a difficult one there, and we'll still need the police for that.
But yeah,
some
it's just like I sometimes think about this. Like, right, why do we lock our doors? Because people will come in, people who don't live there, they'll come in and they'll take our stuff. Why? It's not theirs. No, they'll just take it because they want it.
My family never locked our doors until we moved from Nelson to Kamloops. So I never dealt with keys in my life until I was at least 14. It is a completely different feel as a person to go, oh, I need to lock the house.
Yep.
Compared to, oh no, I'm just going out to the corner store kind of thing.
Am I cynical if any suggestions saying fix X with blockchain sounds like a terrible idea?
That I don't understand how.
I
it's
didn't
supposed to
understand
work.
that. Okay, for the longest time, I don't know if anybody else thought this. I thought the blockchain was like the blockchain, like a list of persona non grata that you would like.
Technically,
I
that's
didn't-
Like a
true.
block list.
Yeah, block list.
Technically, that's also true.
The first time I heard about it, I thought it was some sort of an unbeatable combo for blocking in fighting games.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and I was like, I don't understand how this like. Yeah, no, that's what I thought when I heard the guy who's just like, while you partied, I mastered the blockchain. I was like, it's a weird martial arts technique that I'm not aware of.
Yeah. No, there are, I think, algorithms you can use for blocking people that you could describe as a blockchain.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like,
Just like,
no
oh man.
solution people have come up with for using the algorithmic blockchains has actually solved anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've come up with a decentralized digital currency that's going to free people from bank. Actually, we just want like an untraceable currency that we can buy like heroin and CP with. We talk a big game about it being like this libertarian paradise of, not having to rely on government. So we just want to buy illegal shit. That's what we want to do. We want to buy illegal shit.
That's the number one thing.
It's like, have you ever seen sovereign citizens getting owned compilations? There's these people.
I feel like I'm going through a really weird YouTube hole in real life right now.
Welcome to my life.
You're basically going over the last 3 weeks of Alex's YouTube history.
Yeah.
There's
Alex, would you describe yourself as a YouTube hole?
there's
What comes?
there's these people in the States who feel that they don't recognize the validity of the U.S. government.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of
And
those.
they, there's like some really flimsy precedent for it. And the way this manifests mostly is them trying to get out of parking violations.
Oh yes.
Like a police officer will be like, please move your car. They're like, I am a sovereign citizen, I am filming this, and I don't recognize your authority. It's like, you're double parked.
Parking violations.
It's like,
and
no, I don't, and then they just like get their heads cracked in. It's like, you're an idiot.
Your flag has gold fringes, which means this is a maritime court, and only naval law applies here.
Like,
That's my favorite.
I love,
Good to know.
it's literally just someone who thinks they figured out a clever loophole that's gonna work on like actual meat world officers. It's just like, I will say the magic incantation and they cannot touch me. Wait, I'm being detained.
Is that similar to people representing themselves in small claims courts?
Not quite the same.
No, those people, I don't know, different things.
This is definitely.
I think those are people just trying to save on
Yeah.
legal fees.
thinking that, well, the law's straightforward. I can do this, right?
It's like I
Those
hecked up.
people.
This is a little different. This is
Do we have
people
any
being
more
like,
paper towels
the law
or
doesn't apply to
shop
me at
towels?
all.
I can
not.
get paper towel.
I would love some.
Oh wait.
Oh,
yes.
wait. Yeah, something.
Hey, Lamau.
There we go. So now I need to set up my Arduino environment, which is never an easy or fun thing to do.
It is really difficult to maintain the environment, it's true.
Let's see here.
Okay.
Also, now that I've been working with Macs again in my day job for the last few weeks, it's all my Windows muscle memory's gone again.
It's weird, isn't it? Like sometimes it's like an extra step.
Okay, so this is compatible with Arduino IED and Leonardo sketches.
Excuse me? Like, I know Arduino is like open source, but
The new Arduino IED.
boom!
Okay, let's see here. AVR, Genuine Uno, Nano.
Now the tricky part with the Lansky is figuring out how I can actually attach these chisels into the, because this works best with like just conventional blades. I also realized that I need a screwdriver and I don't have one.
What size?
Wait a minute. Do I have? Oh! You surprise even yourself. Nope.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Oh, just barely.
Is that gonna work?
Can you put it in crooked? That sounds like a good idea coming out of my mouth. So I support you doing that. Just to see what happens.
You know what? I may actually not be able to use the landscape for this. I might just have to like raw dog it, which is kind of what we were planning on doing. Anyway, this is good. Because it's a let's try.
Yep, that's what we do here. So I'm going to attempt to get these into the board here.
The sign you grabbed?
Yeah.
That I was just like, oh, it's the old this or that sign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, man.
Okay.
Right.
So orange is the common ground.
It's like I'm a real Japanese.
Shit. I did a story today for Checkpoint where I had said it's basically about the whole Nintendo Switch Lite release, and the thing that I had said was, I haven't heard of Tanabata having a tradition of playing practical jokes on people, but then again, I don't know a lot about Japan. And then immediately went into saying, now, Nintendo is based in Kyoto, which is in the Kansai region. The Kansai dialect, specifically the Osaka Ben dialect, is actually used among Japan's famous comedians.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
I was just like, well, shit, while I'm here. Might as well throw that out
But I don't
there.
know much about Japan.
I don't know much about Japan.
Only they're comedians.
God, it was fun. The whole story was predicated on me still believing that this Nintendo Switch Lite is a rumor, despite the fact that it's all over Nintendo's website. I was very proud of myself.
Continuity is good. Okay.
Dat whetstone, though.
So I really don't know what I'm doing here, but
Is it not a fairly simple operation to use a whetstone?
I need a piece of paper.
I mean, the problem is I think using a whetstone is more terrifying because you can easily fuck up whatever you're doing.
Yeah, may I have a piece of copier paper?
Yeah, hang on one second.
Okay, we've got continuity. So we are, I guess, ready to start effing with the Arduino.
That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, essentially.
I mean, it says Arduino, but
Wow. Excuse me. Actually, you know what? We're going to wait for Beach to get back so he can control the board, but I think this might be a good time for us to take a short break. Because it's that time. Let's see here.
and Beach is just having a conversation somewhere.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Just having a chat with my boss.
Ah. Heather's out there?
Nice. Not quite.
Take my wife, please.
Really?
All right. Well, we're going to have to take ourselves a short break.
Why the fuck did I get up then?
I know, right? And then we'll be back with more sharpening and Arduinoing after this. Don't go away.
Let's see, fuck you.
Welcome back to Tinker Tailor's Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Live Video Entertainment Network. I'm Ian, and I'm working on turning this joystick into USB Town. What the fuck are you up to?
I can shave with this now.
Wow!
Let me see.
So you haven't been going the whole break on this, but...
No, but one time.
Very nice.
Oof.
Though, I will say that according to my research, and my research is based off of a Japanese samurai drama that I was completely untranslated when I watched it when I was 16. The correct way to do this is to slam the sword into a river, and then throw a chrysanthemum blossom upstream.
Right. Also, this is rusted already.
Yep. This is why tool oil is important.
I didn't bring any.
Oopsie.
Oh well.
Neither did I.
Would you like some sort of oil?
But yeah, like any sort of machine oil or light oil will be fine.
Face oil.
Oh, yes. How about wax?
What?
Wax. No? Okay.
It's fine. I'll just dry them.
Bring you olive oil.
Does that one work as lube?
Yeah, the reason you don't want to use olive oil on your tools, or most reasons, is that it is an organic oil, and therefore it will...
It'll rot.
Yeah, exactly. It will turn rancid. That's why you use mineral oil on a cutting board. It's non-reactive, it's non-toxic, but it is also not something that will go rancid on you.
Oh, you probably shouldn't tell the food bloggers about that. Or whoever that woman who was like making, raw or rare chicken.
Gamer
Rare
oil.
chicken.
Yeah, it was like chicken tataki.
Oh, I mean, you can do that.
No, you can't. Okay, there's a lot of things you can do, like eat lava.
I don't think you eat.
Yes, you can.
You
can.
insert lava in that situation. You do not eat it.
Yeah. Eating implies some chewing, maybe some swallowing.
Yo, what is up, YouTube? I'm here for the Honolulu Challenge. See how far down my digestive tract I can get this lava. Wish me luck.
Oh, wait. What about petroleum jelly?
That would work.
Yeah.
I guess. Does Beach have petroleum jelly?
Do I have any petroleum jelly? He said.
Petroleum jelly, or as we call it here on the moon base.
Here,
Beach
just
is
put
cosmoline.
a blob there.
My face loop.
Beach Maline.
Beach Maline. Hang on.
Beach balm.
Coated in beach maline.
Ooh.
I feel it. The cosmos.
Okay, that one's not as sharp, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, time for me to learn how to use program an Arduino. And by program an Arduino, I mean definitely not program this Arduino completely.
So copy paste.
Yeah, we're going to try some copy paste just to see if we can get things up and running first here. So we are boarding with an Arduino Leonardo. Let's let's see if we can get some board info off it. Plug it in. Boop.
Ooh, it lit up.
Okay. Setting up device. Arduino Micro. Okay. It tells me something more about which type of board it is. Arduino Micro is set up.
I'm Alex. I'm just looking at that and thinking that you'll get a major paper cut immediately if you miss.
Holy shit.
You're getting good at that.
All right, well, we're learning.
Soon you'll get it sharp enough that it won't even make a sound when it cuts.
Yeah, I've seen knives that get like really crazy sharp. It's horrifying. Like this is plenty sharp enough.
Like those incredible sharp knives are so sharp that if you get cut by it, you don't feel it. Kind of sharp. Is that the type of?
Well, that
knife
was
you're
like
talking
the
about?
that urban legend. Well, not really an urban legend, but just like a regular legend about this guy who supposedly had like the sharpest sword in all of Japan. This one dude is like, it's not that sharp, and the guy draws, and the severed head's like, wow, that's sharp.
Oh wow.
Ah,
Uh,
Arduino Genuino from Tools board. Tools board.
The one that's really impressive that I think I saw in like Jun's kitchen was he sharpened like a really crappy old knife, and he took, God, what was it? It was like a flower or something, or maybe just like a single petal, and he laid it in some water and just went, chopped it right in half.
Jesus.
I was like, ah! Oh, that's too sharp. That's too sharp.
and yet still you want it, right? You
Yeah.
want something that sharp.
Yeah, you do. Actually, I'm going to try flattening the back here. Maybe. Hopefully this isn't dished already.
Like, I would assume that an oil stone of some sort, they're going to be the flattest things that you can pay for. Like what you're using, like your whetstone right now, right?
These aren't flat.
They aren't flat.
Okay, so here's the thing. As you wear them, they will start dishing. And so you have to routinely flatten them. I've already flattened this before I came here. The way you do that is you either get two stones of differing grit and rub them together,
right.
or you put a piece of sandpaper on
A block of glass.
a block of glass, do the X pattern on the stone, and keep going until it's like perfectly smooth.
Jeez.
So
Yeah, like watching it here, I'm seeing grit in the water for
yeah,
the stone.
this is how these stones work. Is the grit is actually coming off and exposing fresh grit the whole time, and you don't rinse this slurry off because that's what's doing the work. So as it accumulates, it's just able to.
It looks like you're making a very nice ochre paint.
I mean, technically,
Yeah.
I just need to add a little bit more red.
Use that and some nice deep steeped tea. Use it all together in a nice watercolor painting. It'll get a good effect.
Okay. So thankfully, I found myself a joystick test file. Let's see here. Set to true to test auto send mode or false to send manual test mode. Okay. Joystick underscore joystick bracket joystick underscore default underscore report underscore ID comma joystick type multi-axis 32 oh true true false 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 true true false false false.
Ian, are you okay?
No. Ian no like the C syntax.
Ian is true, true, false, false, true, false, true.
I return null.
One of these Ians will only return true. One will always return false.
And one will always return null.
You may have one input.
We call that one the mand gate.
The mand gate?
Woohoo.
Hoo-hoo!
Okay. Did that it verified it? Upload.
Oh, you're verified on Twitter now?
Yeah, right.
That would be nice.
Would it?
I kind of still crave that check mark.
So does that laptop.
It's looking good so far. All right. So it seems to have set up the thing, I guess.
Shruggies.
let's, oh, there we go. Device is ready. Arduino Micro is set up and ready to go. Let's launch the Joystiq test app. And now I have to download and install .NET Framework 3.5. So that's nice. Although that's a little bit cheating
What's cheating?
when you go through the center.
Oh, shut up. Would you rather I do the samurai mode? Can I go through both your hips? That's the really serious one. The type of cuts through the human body, they would rate swords based on that.
Ooh.
And the hardest one was both through hips, through both hips.
I think you were mentioning that the other day.
Yeah, it's
That sounds terrifying.
Wouldn't the hardest one be through the like right below the shoulders because you're going through 2 arms and the entire chest cavity?
I think the hips were like just so much bone.
They're dense and thick bones. Like when you break your hips, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
was.
Wait, what?
Oh, specifically, I broke my pelvis back when I was a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of marrow in there that make of the bone or make of the blood.
That make of the bone.
Had an X-ray done about a year ago and discovered there was no arthritis in that heel.
Hey!
So that was good. I was happy about that. They're like, no, you healed fine. There's no arthritis. There's nothing, no inflammation in that area.
You just like pump your hand and get an RSI.
Thank Christ. It's like, yeah, your back is messed up because you're out of shape. I'm like, oh.
Oh, thank goodness, I'm just fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Something I can fix but won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Youch!
That's it exactly.
Great. That's the answer I wanted.
You'd have to put a pool in my living room to get me to go to the pool to swim.
Do you want to come to my pool? I never use it.
No, I don't want to leave the house.
Should do the fitness boxing.
Fitness box. Oh, right, that
Wii
thing.
Fitness, yeah.
I want to swim.
Well then,
I hate going to pools.
Wii Fitness swimming.
Wii Fitness swimming.
Yeah, you just
Paddle
Paddle in your living room.
room.
oh, that's a good stretch too.
I mean, maybe you could have a VR partner, B from Pokemon. Man, she looks like she could whip you into shape. Or just, like, kill you.
I mean, so this is the problem. We have both ends of this equation in Pokemon right now with the new trainer, but we also have whipped cream, the whipped cream mon.
The cream gets sweeter the happier she is.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That is text from Nintendo.
Game Freak.
I was like, you got...
Aptly named.
To be
Aptly named, yeah.
Every time I close my eyes.
I mean, the people
End up being
growing
so
up with Pokemon are now
cold.
working at
Yeah,
Game Freak.
James Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah, James Turner is now the art director for Game Freak for a Pokemon series.
Good for
And
him.
that's why it's so horny.
Yeah. Now, I saw, I don't know shit about Pokemon, but I saw, there's a couple of things coming out of the new game that I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, and B is one of them. I retweeted this piece of fan art where she's punching a Machop so hard it looks like his soul is leaving his body.
Wow.
Do Pokemon have souls?
Well,
If all dogs can go to heaven,
you can eat them, so yes.
No, you can't.
mean-
Pokemon?
No, you're not allowed to. That's in their branding guidelines, is that everybody's vegetarian.
But you can.
Did you not know that?
When did that change?
I was under the impression that the evergreen, always been true branding guidelines for Pokemon is that Pokemon, are not eaten by anyone.
Yeah, my understanding was every animal is a Pokemon. Therefore, people eat Pokemon.
No, I believe the official Nintendo position is that nobody eats Pokemon.
tell me more about why you should eat grass type.
Well, you shouldn't eat grass type.
Why?
I mean it's like you get fiber through better means. You should smoke grass
No,
type.
clearly, if you're not allowed to eat Pokemon, but there are Pokemon that are grass type, so do they qualify as a vegetable?
What? That's not how any of this works.
I mean, that's another good question. How do we classify vegetables? Because every plant we don't call a vegetable.
I mean, you rarely ever see cow moving.
In fact,
right? So a cow could be a vegetable.
Tomatoes are technically a fruit.
Don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Sorry, I regressed to 5th grade.
Either way, you can still order in-game Miltank milkshake.
That's so fucking gross.
So,
How much Miltank pus is in the Miltank milk?
well, it depends on how happy the Miltank is.
The regulated amount.
You know, depends on how sweet the
I am
milk is.
so upset.
What's the friendship ranking between the trainer and the Miltank?
I'm going to say corporal.
Corporal. But yeah, Pokemon do have souls because they're a ghost Pokemon, so.
Oh, well,
Checkmate atheists?
Wait, so if... Does that mean that all souls are their own Pokemon? That like there's a soul type or ghost type Pokemon inside of every regular other type Pokemon?
That must be what it means.
That has to be what it means.
But then when that soul comes out and becomes a ghost, they all become the same type of Pokemon.
Beach,
Yeah.
how do you kill a vampire?
I'm gonna assume this is something to do with its non-functioning anus.
What?
Yeah, and a vampire, because a vampire doesn't have to eat. It just drinks blood. It has an anus, but it's non-functional.
Okay, so the correct answer was any fucking way you want because they don't goddamn exist.
Yeah. And I would argue that... Okay, why am I making this argument? I would argue that a vampire would have a functioning anus because you know where all your dead blood goes when you're done with it?
I assume it gets 100% conversion to sustain their life force.
Are you one of those people who thinks that vampires drinking blood has a single thing to do with biology?
Where in any of the literature does it say that when you turn into a vampire, your anus seals up?
I mean, they are real
It
tight.
doesn't seal up! I didn't say it seals up, I said it's non-functional. It doesn't do anything
It'd be
anymore.
so dry. Like a catacomb.
Yeah.
A haunted realm where no one fears to tread.
I feel like if they'd had these kind of conversations back in the 1700s when they were really afraid of vampires, they'd stop being afraid of vampires.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
You could have the tramp stamp that says spit first.
Wow!
You invite me on this show. I don't know why.
How have I never heard that joke? Anyway, Miltank.
Well, that's just for any of the people who miss me on streams.
Brock eats hamburgers, does he not? Or is it Nikuman? He ate Nikuman. Whatever the Japanese
Yeah, but was it
Brock's name is.
Pokemon? Pokeniku?
I
Well, it
thought,
has to be Niku from somewhere, right? But where do you get it if all the animals are all Pokemon?
I thought everyone ate jelly donuts on Pokemon.
Is it all? I thought that was Sailor Moon, that they all ate jelly donuts.
Oh, both. Or fruit parfaits.
The fruit parfait.
Yeah, fruit parfait is recognizable, though. You can tell it's a fruit parfait.
Yeah. Or like really gorgeous looking fruit crepes. Like
yeah.
just those exceptional art pieces.
Just the ones that they make out of plastic so they can display them in the front lobby of the crepe store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Covered in dust.
We gotta make some false resin food at some point
Who's
in the
Kim
show.
Jong? Excuse me.
I'm not sure.
Is he one of them K-pop stars?
What is this name?
Kim Jong?
Kim Jong.
I thought that was a dictator.
Not Kim.
Kim Jong.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Ken Jong,
So
the one on Community.
no.
Who's that then?
This is great. Nobody knows who Kim Jong is, Ian, so he's invisible.
Could we have a close-up, please?
All right.
This is
Wow.
this is disgusting.
Yeah, it really is, but that's impressive. That's all your hair.
That's shaven sharp.
That's
All right, well, that's squared away.
Alex says you never have to buy your own razor again. Just make your own sharp knife.
No.
I mean, if you wanted to, I guess, just get a piece of metal and sharpen it until you can shave. That's
Yeah, well,
literally
that's
how they made
what.
razors.
Yeah, that's what razors are.
Yeah.
I'm not brave enough to
work.
straight razor shave,
Yeah.
but safety razors
Mm-hmm.
are so fucking next level. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, the old.
If you shave in any way, and I shave a little bit because I have to keep this policed up, seriously, like switch to safety razors.
try safety
Okay,
razors.
you know that's a good idea.
And and
Try them.
I am living proof. I tried to be the safety razor guy. I was so bought in by the whole system. There's this little patch on my neck right
Yeah.
here that anytime I use a safety razor on it, or most razors actually, except for the Harry's that I've been using now forever, it becomes irritated. No matter what setting I use on an adjustable safety razor or a non-adjustable one, no matter how wet I get it, no matter how long I stay in the shower, no matter how much cream I put on, no matter whether it's hard or soft, I've tried everything, and unfortunately, they're not for everyone.
I'm waiting for an and here.
What did you end up getting?
Oh, no,
No. I was more just like, and you didn't choose to tolerate that.
I did for the longest time.
That's fair. Like
I was because I was going to be the straight or the safety razor guy.
I mean, maybe I'm just a maniac because like anytime I cut myself, I get the Styptic pencil. Actually, I used the pencil for the first time, and I didn't realize that shit burns.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, you know, I got I had a brand new feather razor, and those things are so sharp,
yeah.
it's ridiculous.
You
And you know, I had a little bit of razor burn, and like it was like bleeding a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, I got a Styptic pencil. Like, shit.
Styptic works
Oh
really great.
yeah, that's not bleeding anymore.
And yeah, the
Woo wait.
feather makes a
Bracing.
razor. In fact, actually, I should bring those on as a show and tell, or maybe an information. I actually went a step further and went with what's known in the community as the feather jector.
Excuse me?
So this is where you take a Schick Injector series razor, which was it was an older style of safety razor
Okay.
that was non-Gillette style. It was a single-sided, not double-sided, and you used this injector system to push the blades in between these two friction clamps, basically, and it was just a perfect place for it. But Feather didn't make. In fact, nobody makes blades for those now. But Feather does make disposable blades for their disposable safety razors.
Okay.
And so if you trim the edge off those to a certain point, they'll fit within the injector, and it's real good.
Huh.
Yeah. I might have to give it another try.
So, to complete the thought, I encourage you to try
Yes.
safety razors because they're cheap like dirt.
Yeah.
After like a very modest initial investment of a razor, like instead of buying like those packs of like 5, 7, 14, like
Yeah.
the combine harvester blades.
Well, instead of going into the drugstore and having to ask the guy to unlock the
Unlock the case
cabinet.
to buy your $50 pack of blades.
Yep.
You buy,
A $5 pack from Japan or Germany. It's got.
and
10
it
to
gives
12
you a better
razors in it.
shave.
Yep.
Gives you a better shave.
Now, I might be weird, but I've only ever, in my entire life, bought one 5 razor head pack of like Gillette or whatever. And I have only gone through 3 of those in my life.
How long have you been shaving for, Matt? You're awfully young.
Since in 17, I'd say. Although for most of that,
Ian,
I've had
forest.
full beard.
That's fair. Yeah.
Can I have a close up, please?
Yes.
Let's do that. 1 second.
Enter the forest.
Wow.
That might be the air quotes rust that you found on the blade.
That
when you
is
came
not.
back.
This is all sharpening slurry.
But like,
Neat, huh?
That looks good.
yeah, when you came back from break on that other one, wasn't there like something like that on it?
I don't know.
I tried safety razors the one time when Ian lent me a small handle, and I think he lent me a blade or 2. I think he just gave me the one.
Yeah, I think
and I did that for about 2 or 3 times. And I bought like a little container of shaving oil. That didn't work. And then I tried I just tried olive oil because apparently people will do that. That didn't work. And then I just gave up because I realized it was like, this isn't any better than what I was going through, and actually seems like a ton more work compared to I just use an electric shaver. I mean, I have a Panasonic
That's also
Arc
perfectly
3,
valid.
but you know, I have a really nice electric shaver, and if you're going to buy one, spend the money and get one that really works for you. I was
Yeah, it's
actually
just like
looking at
if you want
upgrading.
something that's definitely not gonna hurt ever.
Yeah.
The thing with any of this razor-based stuff, give it a try and give it about a week or so, because it does take time for your face to adjust to new shaving methods.
Like safety razors, it does lean a lot more on technique. Because I realized that as soon as I tried it for the first time, I was like, oh, I get it now. Because with like a 5-blade razor, you're just like, and it's like foolproof. And I tried doing that with a safety razor, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
I didn't cut myself that bad, but it's just like you have to like finesse and just like let it, it's fun.
Unfortunately, 5 years, and I could not get away from that irritation in that one spot. And that, to me, was just like, why am I doing this to myself?
You gave that the old extended college try.
Yes. I gave it the college try.
Yeah.
Now, toxic masculinity states that I need to shame you for that because that's different from how I would do it.
And also, I failed at at a thing that you did successfully.
Yeah, so
Most importantly.
I need to use a homophobic slur
I believe so.
because that has anything to do with shaving.
Yeah. And if possible, can you insult my mother while doing it as well?
Oh, there we go.
Hey, no mothers.
Only
We
God.
used to play the dozens. Some places they had rules, no mothers.
You wanna
We didn't have that rules.
You wanna play the dozens? Well, the dozens is a game.
Oh, we have fun. Beach is
Jesus.
a good friend.
Is this straight culture? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's not. So Beej and I, one of the things that delights me about Beej is that he's familiar with a lot of the like older comics that I am. So like Richard Pryor and George Carlin,
He likes the prior.
and like he's familiar
Canadian.
enough with the routines that I can just like, talk about it. It's like, come up here from Tupelo in a tractor. That's right, 486 miles on 1 tank of gas. There's not very much else I can do with Richard Pryor bits because, man,
Yeah,
he
they're
tells
very-
jokes that only he's allowed to tell.
I mean, yeah, people make out specific comics to be like the kind of the pinnacle of the
Era?
no, well, I mean, you could say that, but I mean, like people who are like they were the best of the best, and a lot of it is also down to when they could tell the jokes, like when they were doing the humor and when they could tell the jokes. But there's just something about, like, I love the 1960s, 1970s era George Carlin. Richard Pryor's great through pretty much his
Yeah,
entire
Carlin and
career.
Pryor are both like really good.
Yeah,
I tried listening to Lenny Bruce, but
Yeah.
I think he was really dry, and I don't think I had the familiarity with like the politics of the era enough.
yeah.
Because like I think he was like skewering some stuff, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's something about that. I mean, not all comedy has to be timeless and be accessible in
No.
every era, but there is something about a lot of Carlin's stuff, and there's a lot of what Richard Pryor did that I really do feel like it's definitely accessible. I mean, there's a lot of other comics who did the same kind of stuff, and it's like their stuff is still very accessible too.
It really makes me wonder what Carlin would have been like in this era. Because I think a lot of people think that he would have been like some sort of like anti-SJW.
Yeah, like he
It's
got
like,
very
he was really progressive though.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
could see it being a kind of a hedge because he really, really hates euphemisms, and a lot of like
He just
the language landscape is sometimes like that. So I don't know. Who knows? I will always regret not getting to see him live. How much Billy Connolly have you listened to?
A bit, not a lot.
I love that guy.
Because I tried getting, I really, the couple that I listened to of his that I really loved, his specials that he does, especially when he just like drops a topic
Yeah.
and then comes back 25 minutes later to exactly where he left off.
His tangents are legendary. Like the way he can just go way off and then bring it right back to where you were.
Yeah. And it wasn't even the sense of a callback, it's just the sense of being able to,
Full circle.
where it's just like, you really believed that he got sidetracked and then he just went off on a thing, and it was like, you're like, is this improv or is this a bit, or is this a bit he worked out earlier and didn't intend to use in the act, or what's going on here? And then somehow he'll like get to a certain point and he'll finish the joke and he'll stop and be like, right, this, and he'll just jump back to what he was talking about beforehand.
Yeah. You know what I found? I was looking up a bunch of old Robin Williams bits. Not all his materials aged gracefully, but what was really cool is I saw a segment that he did for the USO, and he made material that was like topical for men on deployment, and I thought that was really charming.
Yeah.
You know, he was like making jokes about, you know, the like the organization and just like military life and stuff like that. I was like, dang.
I think, like, I really respect and admire comedians who are, who when they'll craft a show, like they'll craft their hour worth of material, and then after a year, they'll be like, okay, I have to get rid of that. I can't keep doing the same.
You
gags
mean
over and over.
comics that adapt?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, and it sucks because a lot of Robin Williams stuff is
Yeah.
retreads of stuff that he's done in the past.
Yeah.
But the stuff that he's done in the past has been very good. So it's like, I enjoyed that the first couple times I heard it. I'm just going to ignore the fact that he's retreading it. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it's whenever anybody can be like, I'm going to do this work and then I'm going to toss it away and I'm going to write more stuff. I'm like, I have to admire that. That's really hard to do. To be like, I have a wonderful bit, and now it, or like Richard Pryor says, you know, it's like you show up, and it's like, that ain't the way it sounded on the album.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
God.
And the thing is, I listened to that like when I was a lot younger, but I really get that now, because it's like the same thing where it's like I crack a joke on stream, and then somebody else would crack the joke at me later on, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of this is very situational.
Yeah.
You know, you do an improv show, you make a great sketch, and then you just forget all about it, and it's like a lot of times it's just down to the situation.
Well,
Here-
all three of you here probably remember maybe 5% of what you did during Rogue Quest, right?
Oh Jesus!
That's going to be such a delight to get to watch again.
And like all of us understand the time dilation surrounding Desert Bus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's how I got burnt. I was having some milk and cookies, and the shit blew up.
End of joke.
Closed dope?
It's so good though.
It's-
You know everything about what went on, like with Richard Pryor and the whole story
Oh
about
my
him
God.
lighting on fire.
He even takes jokes about it. It's like people in clubs, you know, they'll light a match and be like, hey, look, it's Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
For those of you who are not familiar with what the hell we're talking about, Richard Pryor, when he was freebasing cocaine, lit himself on fire.
Then left his house, and like was like walking away because he was high on cocaine, and he's like almost like he's like, I just need to get away from this problem. Seemed to be the idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was on fire.
Yeah. So George Carlin actually makes reference to that in one of his bits. He's like, you know, I'm here, you know, and I've, you know, a couple things have changed. I had a heart attack. What happened was like, you know, I had a heart attack. Richard Pryor had a heart attack. Then I had a heart attack. Then Richard Pryor lit himself on fire. I said, fuck that, and had another heart attack. So- It's like, all I did was kill a car. That vodka I was drinking said, go on, shoot another one. Pretty soon the police show up. I went into the house. because they got magnums too. Only they don't kill cars. And that's all I can
Yep.
say about that bit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, he was pretty candid about, like, all this messed up stuff that he did.
Yeah,
He's
he-
like, yep, I'm going to work it into the routine.
He knew because it was like, well, this silly stuff happened to me. This really this tragedy. And it's
Yeah.
like I can disarm a lot of that. I can work through it.
Well, and that's how entertainers become relatable.
Yeah.
Is when they open up about experiences they've had.
Relatable. All right.
Ian, progress report.
Progress isn't happening as well as I'd like here. Couldn't find the board based on serial port. Well, that's fine.
Your laptop has some opinions about it.
You know, I'm just going to mute that.
Recently, I think my favorite comics. Corey introduced me to John Mulaney,
Oh.
and yeah, I would not have watched any of this stuff otherwise. So I'm really happy.
I
that
have not watched any, like, contemporary comics in a dog's age.
John's really good. You would like John Mulaney.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
It's tricky because, like, it's like the stand-up community has polarized into, like, we're not going to change our jokes for anything.
Yeah.
And, hey, let's adapt to the times and not be shitheads to
Yeah.
everybody.
People don't want to hear me say a joke that has like racial slurs in it. Okay,
I'll tell a different joke.
guess I'm on board.
Yeah.
I have the entirety of human history to draw from.
Yeah.
Surely I can make something funny out of that.
So you just now, like, recently discovered John Mulaney.
About like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, years. Okay.
Yeah. Like around the time of his first special was when Corey said, "You would like this, Beej," and I'm like, okay, I will watch this. And I was like, I like this, Beej.
Did you know that I was working on a stand-up routine involving atomic history?
Really?
Yeah, I performed it once at the VEC,
Oh, really?
but oh man, it's so much more devastating to your it's really hard,
Yes.
and I didn't have the confidence to do it a second time for ages.
Good for you for doing it at least once.
Yeah, and I mean, I've still thought about it, and I think with some more writing. The thing is, I didn't bomb either. Like, I got a couple laughs out.
Nice.
And the other people there were like, yeah, it was pretty good. But it's just like being up there and, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Because, like, the thing with nuclear history is that part of the reason that it fascinates me so much is it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's all crazy. It was just like, you know, that time it's like, we lost a nuclear bomb. Don't know where it is.
That happens.
We sort of think we might know where it is, but it kind of went missing.
Very relatable. Very much part of the human condition to lose a nuclear weapon.
Yeah. Also, like, after Marie Curie discovered radium, and they're like, this shit's cool. Let's put it in everything. Yeah. Let's put it in toothpaste. We'll put it in water. We'll put it in chocolate. We'll put it in condoms.
It's the new...
I bet those work great.
It's probably one of the few things that it worked very well on, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's like, is your sperm too motile?
It's
Don't
just like-
worry.
Now I can't get my wife pregnant, and neither can anybody in my block of flats. But seriously, like, they put it in everything.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, it's bad. Those poor radium girls.
Yeah, no one listened to them for like decades.
Yeah, but I was talking to...
No, like actually. Like it
Oh,
was a
sorry,
cover-up.
I thought you were making like a band joke.
No.
Yeah, no, nobody listened to them because like they were like, don't care. And they're like, we're dying.
Literally.
There was, yeah, we were talking about uranium Fiestaware. Because at one point, I think during the 60s, because like when they were doing stuff with uranium, it was the same thing. They're like, oh, let's put it in everything. they came up with this glaze on enamels using uranium oxide.
Yes.
And it had this great red pigment
I bet it keeps your food real warm.
leached into the food.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that stuff's I think reasonably valuable now because
It's rare.
yeah, there was also this was wild. The guy at Makerspace was telling me that they had a great little surprise in a student shop once where they found this disc. And they're like, "What is this?" And it turned out it was a depleted uranium counterweight.
Oh.
Because airplanes need counterweights, and they need something very, very dense and very small. And that's something that depleted uranium is very good at doing. So they have little pucks that are usually sealed in steel, and they're labeled as like danger alpha emitter. Don't open this up. Don't do it. I think some of them are being replaced with tungsten, which is comparable. But
And safer.
yep.
I do like tungsten.
Yeah, it's weird how many times it took us to figure out as like chemists, oh, we shouldn't put the thing we just discovered into everything we have,
But
including
it's
food.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the discovery of radium on its own was pretty wild.
Would
because,
you
like,
want to be responsible for hundreds of people, not having the health benefits of radium?
yeah.
Would you want that on your conscience, knowing
Yep.
that you could have helped so many children sleep through the night if they just had some radium water?
Yep. So Marie Curie and her husband Pierre, I think how it happened was there's this material called pitchblende, and it had an amount of radioactivity. And she somehow discovered that everything in the material was accounted for except for a tiny amount
Yeah.
that was not accounted for. And that's where the radiation was coming from. There's like, no way is this much activity coming from something so tiny,
Right.
so infinitesimal. Because, I think they ruled out everything else being, an emitter. So they got literal tons of it and spent, months or years or something, refining and distilling again and refining until they got it down to, a beaker and then, a tiny little petri dish. And they distilled that down, and all that was left was this stain. And they were really disappointed because they were like, "Oh, we thought we were going to find this thing," and so they sort of went off for the night. And legend has it that Marie came back to get something from the lab, and the lights were off, and the stain was glowing. I was like,
Oh boy.
oh, I see.
That
Because that's what radium's good for, is glowing.
Yeah, it's real good at glowing.
all right. So I'm not even sure.
Her lab is still radioactive.
Yeah.
Her notes,
Yeah.
the back of her chair, and the doorknob are the hottest places in her lab.
Yeah. You're not allowed
doorknob?
to touch the doorknob, I believe.
Wow.
How about them apples?
I mean, chemistry as a science is actually rather young. We played fast and loose with chemistry for a long time, historically. We used to call it alchemy.
It's I'm not terribly familiar with where the differentiation between chemistry and physics comes, where it relates to nuclear technology. Because those two are kind of related, are they not?
I mean, they're related the same way physics and math are related, probably. There's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
It's just layers of abstraction, probably.
I'm starting to figure out what's going on. Apparently, there might be an issue with Windows 10
Oh,
that causes it not to see this particular library.
Ian, I need you to lie to me about how okay Windows 10 is.
Actually, Windows 10 is in fact probably really good right now.
That's a good lie.
It's oh my god, the fact that they've got the new Windows Linux layer is really good. You can actually get a proper terminal, which
kind of exciting,
is
yeah.
interactive with the regular file system. The other feature that I'm most excited about is the sandboxing feature, which means when you download programs from the internet that you're unsure of their provenance and whether or not they're going to fuck up your computer.
Okay.
Well, you can now just throw them in a virtual machine, just for themselves, and when you're done, it just goes away.
All right. Because I've been hanging on to my copy of Windows 7. You know.
And they're just stopping support now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my time is limited.
Yeah, no, Windows 10 is getting real
Okay.
good. Like,
I think I'm gonna sandbag as hard and long as possible
Yeah.
before I jump ship.
you're not a web dev, so
No.
you wouldn't necessarily benefit from all of the.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, other than all of the security updates.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might even just go back to OS X, but
What's really happening right now is they're really targeting Mac devs to bring in, and it's working apparently.
that's what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Man, you remember when like Mac and PC users used to just, well, I mean they still do, and just be like,
I think that was all Objective-C.
and then the like Linux users on the sides like.
This is
Sounds like me, yeah.
This is my impression of like the '90s in like computer, like personal computing.
Okay, because the 90s to me was Sonic versus Mario.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
that's fair.
Linux users are really just all about this is the year of Linux on the desktop.
Sure is. Hell yeah.
This is the year.
Hell yeah.
I
Keep the
did
faith,
really-
true believers.
There was a really great image that sort of like it was very reductive, of course, but okay, sorry, just before I finish that thought, I'm really hoping that this isn't deliberately dished as part of the knife function. And I don't know.
It might be just because of the way it's
If that's true, then I'm in the process of intentionally fucking up this
removing
knife.
it. Good work.
Yeah.
That does look kind of concave.
The reason I think you would dish a knife like that is to give it a narrower profile nearer the blade. I have never heard of a knife doing that. Like I've heard of adding scallops and stuff to a knife to keep food from sticking to it, but
But I think like a dish like that would probably serve the same function.
Yeah.
I guess
Would be
that's
my
the hope is that
guess.
it would bend off. But
Hang on a
let's
second.
go back to the
Go back to the big. 3 COM8 ports. That seems definitely correct.
Well, shit. Dogma says that bevel is like part of the function.
Well,
Awkward.
don't
Well,
get rid of any more of it.
I may need to have this professionally refinished, but, well, there's at least plenty of knife to work with.
sure.
It gives you more time to really do the finishing touches on your custom handle. Like you're gonna have like a really ornate handle for that, right?
Sure.
I mean, really, all you need to do is just put the edge back on the blade.
Yeah.
It's not like you've done like permanent damage. You've just changed the knife and like profile permanently, but you haven't damaged it. I don't think.
Depends on what your definition of damage is.
You've just gone in a lateral direction.
You've made a new decision for what that knife's purpose is, I guess.
Oh, I mean, I think I actually need to give this some...
Oh, neat.
Huh?
I'm just looking at this Quora post that the Maricat posted about what a hollow grind knife looks like.
Ooh.
And hollow grind knives have a concave grind put into the knife that allows for ease of sharpening and reduced drag. Whereas if you flat grind, it's this is funny. Flat grinds, the person answering the chorus says it allows for easy sharpening, and the hollow grind allows for ease of sharpening. And I'm like, those are almost the same thing. Are they the same thing?
Are you lying to me, Cora?
If so, you have to tell me.
Yeah.
It's intended to reduce the amount of material you need to remove when sharpening and somewhat reduce the force required for a given cut as there is less knife material being wedged into the cut surface.
Oh, Dogma has a nice...
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so that's what you've been removing.
Oh, I fucked up my urosuki by grinding down the uroshi.
Oh.
Shit.
What's that going to do to your doji?
I'd say I fucked it.
That's a Rotsuki doji.
Okay, so I was watching clips of that on YouTube.
Clips of what?
Oh, really?
Alex?
Well, the
Legend of
ones that they
Overfiend.
could put on YouTube. Like, so it had this really infamous reputation. And I was like, you know what? I've never seen anything from it. I was like, oh, yep, man. But it's kind of funny seeing it through like the lens of being, 37 now.
Yeah.
Wow, the edges. The edges.
So I have no context for what you're talking about.
For those not wondering, Urotsuka Doji, was it Legend of the Overmind?
Overfiend.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Overmind, Overfiend.
Hentai.
Okay.
Guro.
Yup.
Yes.
That was actually another interesting tweet thread I saw yesterday as I've been catching up. Was talking specifically about hentai, or rather,
The term, Mark,
yeah,
is hentai.
but the way that that English speakers have ironically perverted the meaning of the word hentai. That in the
Go
West
on.
we tend to refer to hentai as a specific form of hentai refers to Japanese animated pornography or
Correct.
Japanese drawn pornography.
Yes.
Hentai is just a word meaning perversion,
Yes.
and that's
So if you call someone a hentai, you're not referring to them as the production of porn. You're referring to them as someone who's being perverted.
exactly. And when you hear a Japanese person refer to something as hentai, they're saying it is perverted, not that that is a one unit of hentai.
Yeah. It is.
What's the Bitcoin equivalent?
lewd and
Yeah.
yeah.
Like this is for further illustration. Square.cube points at titty. Is this hentai? Yes, because it's perverted, not because it's proper noun hentai.
Now, Ian, just because it's a titty does not mean it's perverted.
Oh,
They are
Nigo-
beautiful and artistic
Yeah.
depending on the
Correct.
situation.
Nigoki actually has the tweet thread up there in the chat already. Thank you.
I think I'm going to research this more because, surprise, a Japanese piece of cutlery has more sophistication than meets the eye. Weird.
Who'd have thought?
So it's probably does it only have the curve on the one side?
Yeah, well, Dokuma was saying that, like, this is fixable, but I'm probably going to have to figure out what the hell I'm doing.
Like, I don't even think you need. I don't think there's anything you need to do to this to just not grind that side anymore. I think is the key. And beyond
Did
that,
you just hand that to me knife first?
no, I think I said it was a back end first.
you
Wasn't
gave him the heel.
Yeah. Female presenting nipples. I do like that. It's just like
That image,
sorry,
female,
just
comma.
a maid
presenting
with
nipples.
a platter. It's like onegaishimasu.
No.
Just like, do I want the large or the medium oppai?
Oh my god.
Just eating them like persimmons. Jesus.
As far as I know, that oil painting of that woman with a platter with two boobs on it is of like a saint. Which is the funny thing.
Saint Tid.
Well, okay. There's saints usually get mutilated some way in part of their sainthood ascension.
That's how we get relics.
Some lose eyes, some lose teeth, some lose tete.
No!
Yes. Christianity seems to be a bit messed up sometimes.
Don't lose the tete unless that's your thing.
Yeah.
How convenient would it be if we all had modular body parts?
I mean, we kind of technically do.
Wait, so
I
like,
think virtually every trans person I've talked to would be like, "Oh my god."
Are we going back to I can put my arm back on, but you can't?
or are we thinking like we're all gonna be like Micronauts, where you can just like pull your arm off and borrow a friend's, or have like 4 arms for extremity limbs?
Well, if we're gonna be Micronauts, I'd rather be a Bionic 6 member.
Lego. Replace both your legs or your arms or your hands or your head.
Okay, so in that sense, it would be easy to do the head, hair, and the legs and hands,
Can you imagine your hair just...
but arms would require someone who's willing to.
We call those wigs, Alex. They exist.
They're not self-adhesive, thank you very much.
Whatever, use spirit glue.
Excuse me. I'm out of knives to sharpen,
Oh.
I think.
And I think I'm just about out of.
Also, I didn't sharpen any knives, I just sharpened chisels.
If you want some knives to sharpen, we have lots in the kitchen.
Hook me up.
Yeah, you bet. You'll be right back.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Now seems like a good time to take a short break. So we're going to grab more knives to sharpen, and we'll be back with more Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry after this.
Yada, 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 does it. So, I ran out of stuff to sharpen, but I got more stuff to sharpen.
Oh, the stuff. Like, why didn't we start with this? This is the stuff we use. This is the stuff we
Occasionally.
never use because it's shit.
So,
I always bring my own knives in whenever we're cooking on stream.
so the nice part about this, these knives, is because they're like traditional, I don't know what the name for the type of bevel.
Double-ended.
A double-edged bevel.
Yeah, double-edged bevel. I can use the Lansky on it. And you
Ian,
can
I
see.
think your mic is either off or rubbing.
It is off because I went to the bathroom.
Okay.
A fine idea.
So, I'll show you this. So here's the table clamp. The,
Clamp, clamp,
you know,
kabam.
you just clamp it. And the way this works is you get this whole thing here.
Oh,
Maybe we'll get a close-up on what the hell this is.
You bet.
it's a different clamp.
Yeah, give them the clamps. So we're going to put in blade in...
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a clamper that has specified angles
Yep.
written on it.
I'm just going to cinch the set screw down to grip it. And then this should tension it so it won't wiggle,
Uh-huh.
is the theory. I've never quite gotten this. That should be good enough. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to use these sharpening stones with guide rods on one side and then turn it over on the
That's
other.
real clever. The turning, I didn't realize the turning, you could just turn it over like that.
Yeah, and you don't have to take it out of the fixture. So first we got to figure out what kind of...
Huh.
I want to make sure that these
Are
the
straight.
rods are straight. And then we'll figure out what angle we want to put this at.
In my adventures with
20 degrees?
3D printing lately, I've actually seen a few of these Lansky sharpeners on me.
Is this gonna? I think I can get a 20-degree bevel on this. Maybe 25. Well, this is like a work knife. Let's go a little bit more conservative and go 25 degrees.
Yeah, I don't think the issue is that it needs to be sharpened amazingly well. It just needs to be sharpened good.
Yeah, better than
Yep.
anything else, I think it's more important to have a rather than crazy sharp, a utility sharpening.
That's what I think
gonna,
25
Yeah.
is gonna do.
It needs to last a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll just have to sharpen it again.
So Windows was being a butt, so I swapped over to the Mac to do some the installation of the software and the updating. So let's hope this works.
Are you ready for this shit? Ian.
Whatcha?
It's super cool.
Oh, it's so good. In retrospect, this was the method of sharpening I should have purchased, rather than my.
Lansky's not that expensive.
No.
I mean, it's one among like a million of sharpening solutions, you know, with increasingly bombastic claims about how easy they are.
But well, the method I have is called the Spyderco Sharp Maker, and what it does is it's got these triangles of varying grits that you stick into a base,
Okay.
and then you hold. You're supposed to run the knife down vertically with even pressure.
Because the stones are set at angles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's actually a lot harder than it seems.
Huh.
This is actually a lot more foolproof.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm a fool. What I have heard is that you should steer clear of carbide sharpeners.
Oh.
Because they'll put an edge on your knife really fast because they eat your knife.
Yep.
So I mean, if it's a knife you don't give a shit about, maybe there's some utility there, but it will, like, it puts an edge on it so fast because it, like, it just like eats it alive.
Right into it. Which one do I want to use? Double joint? No.
This smells awful.
Can confirm.
Medium. Green. So I believe you're meant to keep flipping it around because you're chasing the burr that is...
Is that a drug thing?
Chasing the burr.
Yeah.
Whew! Yeah, that smells real bad.
Do you want some oil for that?
Nope. You have to make the decision whether you use oil on this or not, and then you are committed to it.
Oh.
And the knife channel that I watched, who demonstrated how to use this, said to not use the honing oil that the kit comes with, and I trust him because he makes lots of knives.
I know I don't use. I know I don't use any oil when I go about doing my. What do you call it? Sharpening. That's what it is. Sharpening.
Is that what we're doing?
Ian, please confirm for me that this smells awful.
Yes.
Gross, right? I don't know why. I think something about the, like, polishing stone is stinky.
Or possibly the metal itself.
I think it's the stone.
Yeah, stoners usually don't smell very good,
Oh
so.
my god. Find in the downloads folder. Drag it to your libraries folder. Open your sketchbook libraries folder and drag the master folder from downloads into it. That's what I want to know, is where the libraries folder is.
Is it hidden?
It's not just there.
See, this is why you should support your local library.
Manage libraries. There we go.
Isn't that just like a monthly occurrence now? Is people online going, oh, why don't we do this thing, and then discovering libraries over again? That does that thing.
That's like every technology ever. Remember when Uber came up with like a large vehicle that would make fixed set stops through a city?
Brilliant!
Yeah. That's called bus.
Bus. Arduino. Reveal in Finder. Show. Show in Finder.
Find and shower.
Show package contents. Resources. Plugins. Java? Go library. Application support, probably.
How are you feeling about your work today so far, Alex?
Oh, pretty good. I mean, I ran out of stuff to do and had to find more stuff.
And that's why you should never make yourself obsolete at your job.
Dang it. Hold on. Did I make that dull again?
I don't think that's quite there yet.
I haven't quite gotten the hang of honing this stuff. I think the tip also might need some more lovin'.
As they say.
McLovin. Oh, there we go. That might be sharp enough for... actually, the very end of it, I think, needs a bunch more work.
Oh, that's why.
Okay.
They put the libraries in a weird place on the Mac. They put it in your Documents folder. Literally the only thing I know that uses the Documents folder.
Seems like a sensible enough place to put libraries.
Yeah, and not the folder called Libraries.
Oh.
Well, you should rename documents to libraries then.
That'll teach it.
Yeah, that'll... deploy dot stash installed. CP Joystiq to libraries. Joystiq. Joystuck, in fact.
That's quite a name for a product, a joystick. Like, I wonder what other names they tried to come up
Like,
with.
what is it? It's a stick that brings you joy.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I was not really sure where the what the etymology of that is. I'd love to know.
Because it predates video games.
Oh yeah, Sector. That is one of my favorite key commands of recent days. Command Shift period will show hidden files in Mac OS. And then you hit it again to hide them again. Used to be back in the day you'd have to issue a defaults write command into terminal, and then restart your Finder.
Huh. Back in the day, you used to have to sacrifice the elder gods to open up your drive.
Yeah. And then restart the dock.
So, at some point, because whenever I've seen people sharpen a knife, they always swing the whole blade along kind of a curved motion, right? You're kind of like either doing it from tip to heel or heel to tip. Or bolster to... What the hell is the part of the knife where the edge of it is?
The part that goes in the other man.
Yeah, okay. So the tip is the part that goes in the other man, and the heel is the part that's closer to you. But do you have to swing the stone across the edge of across the entire edge of the blade in like one sweeping motion? Is that
No,
why?
it's going back
This is
and
still
forth
okay.
in a long... My understanding of knives for sharpening, what little I know, is that the really, really important thing is consistency of angle, which is what something like this jig does.
Right.
Is because it's like, this is 25 degrees.
Yeah.
Pretty dang close.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not like a pylon, you can probably maintain that.
Okay.
Like, I kind of almost want to get a honing guide for sharpening chisels, because that's the same kind of thing. It's like a little clamp with a roller.
Right.
So you can set an angle, and it will sharpen to that.
They probably do that sweeping motion because it's an easy way to know that you've crossed every part of the knife at once, equally.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've made some progress.
Oh, good.
The joystick did, in fact, boot. Whoops. Or it did load up, and Mac OS X recognized it as a keyboard, which just kept pushing X. So we'll see what Windows thinks of this with the Joystiq test app. Nogbut says the name Joystiq is thought to originate with the early 20th century French pilot Robert Esnault Peltier. He's alleged to have invented the Joystiq, which became
Joystiq!
more popularly known as the
Can
joystick.
we please bring back Joystiq?
I hope that's true, and I, in that sense, will start to refer to it as the
L
joystick.
George and R George.
Yeah.
I have my 2 George cons on my Switch.
Click into George's. Yeah.
Just give your George a little wiggle. George stick. Fuck, history's awesome.
And the nice thing is, if you're particularly drunk, you could probably slur Joystiq to sound like George Stick.
Oh, then you could call it your Jorge stick.
Yeah, technically.
Jorge rod.
Although I guess a joystick is technically a type of keyboard.
I mean, they're HID devices, so there's that.
Human interface device.
Yes. That's the double D.
Oh. I thought that was going to be impressive.
And George, the least interesting Joestar.
George Joestar?
Yes, he was a, well, he didn't get an anime. He got a novel. He was a pilot during World War One.
You know what? This might still be sharp enough for, like, kitchen use.
It is a
Like,
pairing.
do we want to trust Graham with this?
I mean, or even would he feel comfortable using it?
Like, this would be fine to use on cheese or small fruit. And I think that's what it would be good for.
Good enough.
Do you remember? Actually, that was one of the first things I remember doing when we
wonder.
when I joined up. Was we dulled those knives so that we could yank them out of a disabled electrical socket.
The little pairing
Right!
knives. Yeah.
I remember. That was a crap shot.
That was. It's a good one too.
You specifically build knives to do a crap shot?
Well, so that we wouldn't have, like...
Flying sharp knives.
Right, because we were yanking them out with a fishing line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you never get cut with a dull knife.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Yeah, this also looks like 25. Let's fuck it up. Let's fuck it up.
Oh no, my alarm. I need to wake up.
Get that toast in your mouth.
Why are you doing this? Okay, so looks like I'm gonna need to look at this code and find out. Oh, wait. Or do I have to take it back?
Look
to the
how it follows the contour of the blade all the way to the edge and maintains that angle.
You sound a bit like a shaving commercial there. Your head is a lot like a bowling ball.
What?
You need to maintain the edge right to the center.
Yes, your head is a lot like a bowling ball.
Filled with oil and has 3 holes.
What?
Do you have more holes? You're wrong. You need to go back to school.
My holes.
Oh no, my holes. Okay, well, let's head back into the Mac and try and reflash this for values of flash. Let's try. Oh hey, we found the crap shot. Thanks, Banach spacebar. Ah.
I knew that was going to come through.
Click.
So that was like 400 crap shots ago, by the way.
Whoa.
That was 205.
Yeah. We're on like 650-ish.
Yep. I mean, let's remember we had a couple years where we were doing 100 crap shots in a year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot.
That's a lot, my dude.
That is a lot.
Why did you do that, Beej? Why did you do so many crap shots?
Because we got paid to do it.
Yeah, that was definitely a was aim high.
Yep.
You were having more fiber that year, and it really
We were
flowed
younger
well.
then. We
Yeah.
were younger. We had more time.
Excuse me.
I wasn't here to distract you.
Oh, come on, you're not that handsome. That was really mean.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'll never forgive you.
Oh, okay.
I will.
Only God can forgive you now.
Heather!
No gods or kings, only gamer water.
Only what?
Gamer water.
Oh my god. Get in the pig.
So, Beach, how much time before this meme completely evaporates do we have before we find before it evaporates for us to put together a group of gamer water based Fremen?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's just ponder for a minute the concept of a gamer water still suit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's something that a lot of core gamers would really enjoy. In addition to their free shipping and
Spite is processed in the thigh pads.
I mean, they're already swimming in their own feculence.
But we all are as humans.
I do like that Belle Delphine, for everything else, did reveal recently that she hasn't mailed anything out.
Yeah.
So everything everyone has said about what did or did not happen with the bathwater is horseshit.
Yeah.
Well,
Which is kind of disappointing.
is
But
that a verified claim on her part?
Did she not literally tweet it? I thought she had.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
anyone can make a tweet, right?
it's not like Wikipedia where you can't make your own tweets.
I am profoundly torn about how I feel about that whole affair, as I think some people are.
Oh shh!
What?
I mean, not. Wait, did I?
Did you
I
just
think-
flatten your drive?
I think I might have actually just uploaded the button. Hardware to there.
But which button? There's so many on the
Okay.
joystick.
Can you redo that? Like, or have you just bricked it?
Oh yeah, no, I should be able to redo this.
Lovely.
Should be able to redo this.
Yeah, I think I would feel better about somebody like grifting Rube gamers if she wasn't also like stealing other people's content. It's like, okay, so you just actually have no moral compass whatsoever.
It's it's still okay to like a terrible thing. That,
Yeah, no, I still
like
think
a
it's
great
funny.
thing that somebody does that's if they're not a good person.
Yeah.
Johnny Glitch, not the Christmas Carol button, the Desert Bus button.
Which one? There were 4 of them. Oh, no, wait. Were there 5 of them?
I'm gonna say one.
1.
Yeah. Okay, Genuino Micro.
It's just like, it's funny when a mercenary owns people, but they're still a mercenary.
Yeah.
Joystick.
I try to just, like, steer towards wholesome, like, dog YouTube or something. Because then all of that stuff can just blow over, and I'm like, the dog had nothing to do with it, so I don't have to worry about liking something that is kind of pernicious.
Oh no.
Is that a good oh no or a bad oh no?
It's not good. Neither good nor bad.
Oh,
3.6 Ronjins.
it's an oh no with no morality to it.
Result is 3. Neither good nor bad.
Result is holding steady at 3. 999, 999. I'm laughing for real right now. 999. John Madden. Holla, holla, get dollar.
God, that video is old.
It's so good though.
Like,
It's
is that
it's
game
absolutely
still up?
timeless. Maybe. I mean, it's free.
Yeah.
It probably costs NASA nothing to maintain it.
Well, fraction of their.
Their tiny budget.
Yeah.
Poor fucking people.
Well, I mean, to be fair, any single thing NASA does is going to be very expensive anyway. They work in very fine tools and expensive alloys and materials. Moonbase Alpha was last updated in 2015.
Dang.
It is surprisingly only 9 years old, though.
Excuse me.
Oh, this is fun.
Is it?
I was expecting a different F word, but
I'm having a great time.
having a good time.
Looking at him, Bob.
Explode! We miss you, Bill.
Burning through the
Sky.
sky.
200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Traveling at the speed of light, I'm gonna be a supersonic man out of you. That's better.
Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me.
He said, "Don't, Alex."
Okay, so that's plenty sharp enough for kitchen use.
Okay.
But will we today go above and beyond kitchen use?
I mean, those things are going to get abused, which will be great.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hanzo steel.
I mean, this one's like sharp-ish. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll just go right to the like medium stone.
So here's a question. You're doing flat blades. How would you sharpen a serrated blade?
With a round file.
Yeah, I don't actually think it can be. Well, okay. I don't know. Like I think you need special tools.
My understanding is that you get a small round file, and you basically do the spaces in between each tooth, and it takes decades. Like it's so long as a process to do this. That's why most people don't. You'll either buy a brand new serrated blade, or if you're gonna.
Yeah, I
sharpen
think
a
you need to
serrated
take
blade,
it to like somebody who has the tools to do that.
Yeah.
I imagine that sharpening a serrated blade would be a giant pain in the ass at home. Although I have seen how saws are sharpened
Yeah.
and how saw teeth are set, and it's not as difficult as I thought.
Ooh, that's an interesting. That's a fun sound. No.
I want like a violin solo. Did you know my grandfather used to play the saw?
No.
He did. We have one at our house. Well, my parents' house. Don't live with my parents.
How does one play the saw?
With a like a bow, and the saw that we have has like a little handle built into the end, and you adjust the pitch by bending it
tension.
more.
Okay.
It's like it's very charmingly rustic,
like an old town theremin.
as to be expected of the last man to be issued a scrap dealing license in Ontario. My mom grew up in a literal shack in a junkyard, and her dad, my grandfather, used to demolish cars using dynamite.
Sorry, that's just caught me really off guard.
It almost caught their neighbors off guard. Like an engine transmission like landed right next to him one time.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
He
before
had
that.
neighbors? Like,
Well, I mean, like the next farm over.
yeah.
Before that, he was a hobo hitching on trains.
Hmm.
And I think what you would do is, if you could, you would sweet talk your way into the engineers or into the engine, and be like, "Hey, I'll shovel coal." I'd be like, "Sure." And it'd be like, "I get to be warm. They get to take a break. I get to go where I'm going."
Yeah. So, my assumption then is that at whatever point that the train he was riding broke down, that's where he set up shop.
I don't know. I don't actually know very much about how he ended up on the property that he ended up with. I'm realizing now that I definitely inherited some of his organizational skills, which is to say none at all. He had two school buses that had become workshops, just packed with tools.
Wow.
Just like shit everywhere.
Yeah.
It was really cool. That was the best place to play as kids. There was broken glass and rusty nails everywhere.
Broken glass everywhere. People running around thinking.
I hopped on his tractor one time and like shifted it into whatever the S gear was, and the damn thing started up.
Huh.
I think that's for sew.
Be for start.
Yeah.
No, it's spring. You shift your tractor into S for sow, and then when it comes fall time, you shift it into R for reap.
No,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be H for harvest? Put it in H.
Depends where in the country you're
that's
buying your tractors from.
Yeah.
The fancy ones say reap.
I have a lot of really great memories of him. Although the one that really stuck with me was when we were in the care home for his 100th birthday.
Oh, he hit 100.
Yeah, he lived to 100. And he was sort of sitting there, and everybody was like doing whatever. And he was like, "I'm gonna die, but I don't know what color."
What?
Like
Wow.
hook, line, sinker.
Did he elaborate at all?
No, that's the joke.
I'm going to die.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. How's it feel now, pun boy? Huh?
you got owned by a dead man.
Was his favorite brand like Rit or something? Like
Sorry?
his favorite dyeing brand, Rit?
No.
No. He just got Rit eventually.
This was the one we would come over and he would have like 2 bottles of Southern Comfort under the table, and by the time we left for the weekend there was like half of one left.
You got really
Well.
comfortable.
He would mix it with milk and it would curdle.
Oh.
So nasty.
Why would you do that?
Also, like he was very curmudgeon. Well, I don't know how to characterize it. Like my mom would come by and visit every once in a while, and like one year he was like really, really old, like in his mid to late 90s. She was all like, it's like, "All right, come on, it's time for bed," and he sort of like cracks a smile, and like leans over, and spits out a whole grape. And she's like, "What the hell? Do you have any more?" And he just sort of like grins and then like keeps producing grape after grape after grape. He'd just been hoarding them since lunch.
What, like, he stored raisins in his mouth and hydrated them over the hours.
I mean, you just follow the train of logic where it's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna get them so bad. I'm gonna keep these grapes like a chipmunk."
Not say a word for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Granddad's weirdly quiet right now. I wonder what that's about.
This is what he taught me to do is he would also do a thing with the like his liquor bottles, is he would like hold them like and cradle them and start petting it like a cat and then make it look like he was trying to get away.
Oh my god.
Classic. Classic Jack.
Oh yeah, Jack Daniels. Was that his favorite?
No.
We have some success.
Oh good.
Some success.
Partial success.
I'm going to show this off here to everyone. Here's our Joystiq tester app.
Let's zoom in on that login information.
Login. Yeah, everything's safe there.
Oh, that screen is flickering. now.
That's good refresh rate. Okay, so currently the sketch that's the Arduino sketch in there only recognizes one pin, and that's A0, which is the left-right motion. So what you're going to see is this will move. Come on.
Are you sure it recognizes it?
Should have.
It was a second ago.
Error none. Okay, wait.
It looked like it was half full for a second.
Okay, let's try this again. Oh, no errors. Okay, good. That's what we want.
Nuts.
And here we go. Bring it back. So when I move the stick left, it will advance the light. So that tells me that it's reading the analog pin correctly. And it just, because of the way that this sketch is a test sketch, it'll just increment up as things happen.
Yep.
So okay, good start. I think the next step for me then is going to be to write some code to actually have this recognize the analog sticks, and also work out a matrix for the buttons, because I don't think there are enough digital buttons on here for all the buttons I have that need to be buttoned. Yeah, beyond that, I think I'm basically done for today.
Oh good.
Alex, you gonna finish up one more knife here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think this will take too long.
Well, that's all right. Well, while you're doing that, I'll start the housekeeping here. I want to thank everyone for joining us today here on Tinker Tailor Solve the Fry. It's been it's been a utility episode.
Yep,
We
it's
got
been.
some good work done. We got some very good
Some
work
work.
done. We learned something as we went along, and we definitely didn't pay attention to everything.
We got to see a nice pig.
But I want to thank everyone who showed up and hang out with us here in the chat, whether you're actively chatting, subbing, or just in the background lurking. We appreciate every one of you and all the ways you chose to show your support. One of those ways is over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. We like the people who choose to support us at Patreon. It helps us keep the lights on, feed our bodies, and feed the other things that live here.
It is weird that they pay us only in like top shelf tequila though.
I get all my payment in specie.
What?
And of course, we should probably thank those of you out there who have chosen to show your support here at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun. That's where all of our shows live when they are live. When they're not live, check them out at youtube.com/loadingreadylive, or check out youtube.com/loadingreadyrun for all of our great shows, both recorded, pre-recorded, and improvised sometimes. And of course, go to loadingreadyrun.com for all the great shows, and loadingreadyrun.com/live for our schedule of shows, which we have up now, starting with tomorrow, the Friday Night Paper Fight, where the boys will be getting down to some drafting of Core 2020. It looks like
New
it's gonna be-
set. New set.
Everyone's excited. Everyone's going to make big decks. They're going to fight. And then when they're done, they're going to go to bed. And when they wake up, Adam's going to come in and he's going to play Darksiders at Adam's Game House.
Oh, that's dark-sided.
You loving that Darksiders? Then Beej is going to be in here Saturday night at 6 p.m. Beej is going back to Hong Kong. He's going to be running them shadows. He's a shadow runner.
Drink.
Does that happen every time?
Every time I say Shadowrunner.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then, of course, on Rhythm Cafe on Sunday, 4 o'clock, Heather and I will be returning back to Hyrule. But not back to the Hyrule you know. It's the Dark World. For more, Cadence of Hyrule, the Crypt of the Cadence of Hyrule, dash, Skull, the Crypt of the Necrodancer, Skull, : Wind, featuring The Legend of Zelda, win. Full titles are important.
I'm so glad you guys finally have a long play game for Rhythm Cafe.
Two.
Yeah.
We can't stop. And of course, Beach will be back in the office afterwards, assuming there's more of Hong Kong that he hasn't yet run.
There will be.
Assuming assumptions.
And Adam's back on Monday with more Dice Friends. This time he is playing another one of his Fighting Fantasy books. It'll be a solo stream with him. And I'm sure, of course, Paul will be running the tech there.
Ay-ya.
And then, of course, Play It Forward on Monday will be happening again without graphics this time and 9 o'clock as per usual. And the week continues on as it will.
Like it always does.
Exactly. But I would like to once again thank those of you who have chosen to show your support for this show and all of our shows by subscribing here at twitch.tv/LegendReadyRun, starting with Jade Warrior for 64 months. That is a multiple of 2.
It's your friend Loud Walrus for 6 months.
Thank you, God Eek, for 60 months of sub.
And Squirrel Earl for 44 months.
Big ups to Air Bud. Nothing in the rule that says a dog can't sub to our channel, especially for 10 months. Thank you so much.
Reverse Creations for 35 months. You want to smoke this shit?
Yeah.
I got sandpaper.
Thanks, TVN, for that 26 months of resub.
It's Hook Towery for 37 months. Welcome back.
And thank you to A Cloned Pickle for 37 months of resubs.
Coronax CJ for 14 months. Welcome back.
And A Box of Noobs is a brand new subscriber. Thanks for joining up and welcome to the channel.
For 50 months.
Zed Alpha has been here for 42 months as well, and we thank them for it.
Luna Lyric, gifted by Wabajack.
The Spoiler 98 has been given a gift sub by Luna Lyric.
And press start to finish for 26 months. Man, that would be convenient.
Gilbert been here for 38 months. Thank you.
Feet of the Ground for 40 months.
Almost had to sneeze there. Dormar has been around for 11 months, and we love it.
Azure Hates for 18 months.
Bartlebad for 6 months.
Sham the Wow for 21 months.
And thank you, the Meerkat, for giving gifts to Geeks 5S, Gensling, Apple Cork, Pixel Savage, and Cake Flavo.
Nerd Soda for 20 months.
Forsaken 401 for 16 months.
X Rising Tackle is a new subscriber. Welcome.
PT Elder for 28 months. Thank you.
Skylurk for 2 months.
And thank you to Retroactive Pancake for 33 months of retroactive resubs.
Am you okay?
No.
Nut Svoden for 6 months. Welcome back.
The Odin Nut. Newfer for 29 months.
Snoofer. Lord Byron 47 for 32 months.
Thanks, Space Cadet 8887. You're a brand new subscriber. Welcome to the channel.
And Contingent Cat for 24 months. Welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. Prototype, for 31 months. I think it's time for you to move to production.
Ice Light for 30 months. Welcome back.
RR Tycoon 2 has been here for 32 months. Thank you.
And Bad Virtue 667. It's 2 months.
And thank you to the Meerkat for gift subs to Skip Eves, Relentless Bread, Garfman 314, and M0 Estil, Agar BTC 1220, Hawk Falcon 8, Crimson Kevin, Shikaran, and
No, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, wait, there was one more.
Mary Curie. Thank you so much, all of you, for being in the channel. Thank you, the Meerkat, for those subs. And of course, we would like to thank, for those 1,000 bits, Block, the Meerkat, and Ruan for the bits, the bits.
Ian,
Yeah.
run your finger along the edge.
No.
Do it.
I would not.
It's very smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I did this, and you'll notice the corners are also rounded off.
Oh, nice work.
Yeah, I made this sheet of glass for this.
Specifically to
So I was
not-
like, I need a sheet of glass, but I don't want one that's 4 razor blades and 4 knives. So just,
you fixed it.
yeah, I did.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Well, we're going to say that has been the end of the stream. This will be the end of today's broadcast day here at Loading Radio. And thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. As we say all the time, ever forward.
Never learning.